The advanced supply chain software extensions that we at IBIS provide for Dynamics AX are designed to make your life a little bit easier by streamlining some of the common business processes that you do on a day-to-day basis. One of the features that we will be focusing on in this quick presentation is how to use allocation agreements to reserve inventory for customers. This feature lets you allocate a set amount or even a percentage of inventory for a certain customer so that you can ensure that it's always available for them and so that no one else steals the inventory and causes order shortages. Let's take a look at how this works. What we're going to start off looking at is the inventory that we have in the system. And we're going to look at this one product that I've got 10,000 units of the product available really for anyone to order. Now, I want to go out and take part of that inventory and make it only available to one customer. So to do that, what we want to do is we want to create what's called an allocation agreement. Now, an allocation agreement is a reservation of inventory or sections of inventory just for certain customers or even for warehouses and other items in the system. I'm going to go out and create a new agreement here, and this is going to be for a customer, and I'm going to say that I want to assign this to this customer. Now, also what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out and tell it when I want this agreement to be in place. So this can allow you to only have the inventory allocated for a certain period of time, and then if the customer doesn't use it, then it goes back into the general pool. Now, also what I want to do is I want to specify what type of a reservation this is. So you can say that I just want to allocate a certain number of items, or I can allocate a percentage of the inventory that's actually there in the system. Once I've gone out and set up the general header information, then I can go out and I can start reserving inventory. So I've got an item here, and I'm just going to allocate 1,000 of that units of that item. Now I can change this a little bit, and I can specify whether people can use this in an emergency, and also if people can change it. And again, here I can have different allocation dates associated with this allocation record itself. So I'm just going to save that, and now I have a reservation that I can use or that's going to be associated with my customer. Just as a little bit of a side note, if I look at my customer, then there are some rules that we can set in place for the customer record to say how our allocations managed within the customer account. And if I scroll down to the reservation mode here within the sales order defaults, then I can change the way the allocations work. I can tell the system that the customer is only allowed these products, or they take the allocated items first and then continue on, or maybe they just use the allocation items if there's no other inventory that's available for them. If we set this to on hand only, then really that tells the system that we're not taking into account any of the allocations and we're just going to grab the inventory that's on hand. So I'm going to close out of that. Now that we have our allocation agreement set up, we can also just click on the Allocation Agreement Overview. And what that's going to do is it's going to give us a different view of our allocations. But we can see that I have an allocation here within the system. And if I scroll over, then we can see that I've allocated 1,000 and still 1,000 is sitting out there. We'll keep this up and look at this in just a second after I've typed in a sales order. So now we're going to go over to sales, and I'm going to create a new sales order and we'll see the allocations in action. So if I create a new sales order here, and choose the customer that I have the allocation for, and continue through. Then I can type in a sales order for however much of the product as I want. And when I save this, then it's going to color code and allocate this item against the allocation agreement. If I quickly return back to my allocation overview screen that we had here and refresh the view, then now we'll see that 100 of the units have been allocated. So now there's only 900 that's reserved here against the customer. So they can only take another 900 units out of the allocated amount that we've associated to them. Another useful feature here within the allocations, since I set this customer up so that they can only take the items that we've allocated to them and they can't take any additional inventory, then if, for example, I try to order 1100 units, which is more than we have allocated, then it's not going to allow us to perform the sales order. It's going to pop up using the color coding that we've got here to say that there's insufficient stock based on the amount that's allocated to the inventory. So this is a great way that you can manage allocations, and you can stop people from stealing items from other customers, and also make sure that the customers have the quantities that they've agreed upon or that they've said that they need for a certain period of time. So I hope this was useful and gives you a little bit of an idea of one of the features that are available here within the allocations rules, or the item allocations within the advanced supply chain software. If you want to see more information on the allocations, or really any of the other products that are included within the advanced supply chain software suite, then don't hesitate to give us a call.